Hi everyone, it's Corey Jones with HomeTeamAdvantage.ca, Remax Sarnia Realty, and proud sponsor of LoveSarniaLambton.ca. I'm here at Blake's Detailing and Upholstery Services with Kirkland Blake. Everybody, I'm here. I typically I come to these businesses to promote small business, and we're going to chat a little bit about Kirkland's business, and then we're going to get down to another issue that we need to talk about. So first off, you've been here for 3 years, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know about you, but I remember previously this parking lot was always full of U-Hauls, and it was kind of a dilapidated place till you got here.
Yeah, it was on the rougher end.
Absolutely.
There've been a few places here that didn't work out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of, you'd say, almost stumbled across this by accident, but it actually worked out. But
Excellent.
In any event, I saw the potential and I decided to take advantage and move in.
That's excellent. Excellent. And had you been detailing before you moved into this building, or was this brand new venture for you?
Brand new venture.
Oh, is that right?
Like I said, it's something that I started out of necessity, right?
Yeah.
Because at the time I was doing something else, which didn't work out.
Okay.
Due to COVID.
Yeah.
Everything was hard, but
absolutely,
this kind of just happened because when I did it, it was like, I was doing it door to door. Whoever came in, I would just put it out there, and then it started growing from there. I built a page, people started sharing it. It was at that time that, the support in Sarnia groups came about, and I did somebody's car. I think it was Jen Daly. I remember her name.
Okay.
She owns Twisted Arm.
Yeah, I know Jen.
From there, it just kind of skyrocketed.
That's awesome.
Started receiving calls. I could only do so much.
Right.
I was like, crap, I do need a place. So that's when I found here. It wasn't, you up and looking at it, you wouldn't think to yourself, oh, that's a wonderful spot.
Right.
But for some reason, I just went ahead anyways. It was almost inspired.
That's awesome.
It was in rough shape, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
Even from the get-go, it was hard because, financially, it wasn't the best thing. It was the last money that I had that I used on it.
Wow. Okay.
So
that's a big leap of faith.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It was slow to start.
Yeah.
Because you have to make that big initial investment, just to even get into the place
for
first
sure.
And last and so on.
Yeah.
So from there, I was pretty much, you'd say, treading water, if you will.
Right.
But separate from that, it's grown. The hardest part was to start.
Yeah.
The people, they just came in. At first, it would be, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Give it a try.
Hope you do a good job.
Yeah.
And then, it kept on going, and then people were like, oh, I heard you did a great job on this car.
Awesome.
And that's kind of how it kept on going.
That's excellent.
Then you build loyalty.
Yep.
You treat people good. Again, you won't please everybody, but naturally that's life.
For sure.
Right? But in any event, that was how it started. We've had a few people come in. People come, they leave. It's seasonal business.
Yeah.
When I say seasonal, meaning I'm open all year, but it's busier at some time.
Right.
But in any event, we keep it going, right?
Excellent.
And it's not easy.
Excellent. Everybody, I'm just going to have a quick pause here. We just got somebody coming in to support Kirkland, so I'm just going to pause real quick, and we'll be right back with you.
Oh, yes.
All right, everyone, we're back. This will be officially my first editing chance to edit a video. We've never had anybody interrupt before, but you'll soon find out why, for good reason. So anyway, you were talking about how the business has just really grown from referral and just word of mouth and things like that, and how it just, you started at a really, during COVID is a tough time, but you've made it work. You've been super successful, and it's just been awesome. One of the things we talked about earlier, and I don't know if you can see it on the wall behind, you can in the video, is Kirkland's been the recipient of Community Votes Awards since he's been in the business, and that's, to me, that's one of the most important awards you can get, and it's one that I actually personally take pride in as well, because I said it to you earlier, it's one that just not just your mom can vote for, right? It's the community speaking.
Yeah,
so
it's not rigged.
Yeah,
it's the actual community. You put it out there.
Yeah.
And people actually vote.
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things.
Yeah. So they obviously felt passionate enough about your business and how you operate your business to take the time to do that.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for those who don't know, you do detailing of cars, you do boats, you do motorcycles, and you even do you still do interior, like carpets of homes and things too? I know you were at one point.
Not necessarily.
No,
that's a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
The whole thing is, you name it, we clean it. And the way that you name it, we clean it came about is because at the time when I started, even if you had your rug or anything, you had to be clean.
Yeah.
It's never off the cards.
Right.
So I just clean whatever I got. It wasn't specific to cars.
Okay.
It was anything. That's why you name it, we clean it. So you come with something.
Yep.
You want it clean? Sure, I'll clean it for you.
Cool.
And that's how that thing came about.
Okay.
And like I said, it was all inspired.
Yeah.
It's never. I find the things you plan in life never work for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they never work to how you like.
Yep.
So, this thing just came about, and it just became me. Like, if you see me anywhere, you'll see me wearing this stuff.
Yep.
Or something related to the business.
Awesome.
Because I represent that anywhere I go. If anybody works here, whether now or in the past, they can wear it anywhere, because I'm not going to, screw anybody over.
Right. Yeah.
I always try to do the right things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have people that are not pleased, but that's okay too.
Yeah.
But I always offer to help.
Right.
Sometimes you can't fix it all.
No.
It's just one of those things, because even God himself can't please man, right? It's too cold.
That's right.
Hot.
That's right.
So who am I, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But in any event, I was saying about growth.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of Facebook ads.
Yep.
Lots of them. That's really how, we got it out there, and that was good.
Yeah.
And now mostly it's really referrals, word of mouth, people just coming in because they know it's here.
Yeah.
And that's just testament to the support of people.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, excellent. Absolutely. Yeah. So guys, we're just going to pause again here. We've got somebody just in here to see Kirkland, so we're going to pause again here for you.
Yeah. Hey. Thank you, sir. Yeah, if you want to pick it up.
All right, everybody, we're back again here with Kirkland.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Kirkland. So
yeah. So I was speaking about the change in how being established works. And if you think of the timeline, you'd say, oh, you've only been here for 3 years, or just about. How do you generate customers? Do you still go on the radio? Do you still do this online stuff? Yes, I still go online, but once you grow a platform, it kind of becomes self-sustaining. People share things, and it becomes word of mouth, and that's it. So it's all people, at the end. And even in this current predicament that we're in, it's still the people that we depend on.
Absolutely.
To actually bail us out.
Absolutely.
Without people, we're not here.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
And even now, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's all I can say with regards to that. But
yeah. Well, and it's so true, and you're right. I mean, it's one thing to put out a good product, but there's lots of people who put out a good product. It's also about taking care of people and appreciating the people who support you, right? And it's not an easy business. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, it's hard to believe, but years ago, I actually was a detailer. So I started actually at a car dealership. I was at Park Lane Motors detailing cars. I'll tell you, it's not easy, and and attention to detail is huge. But you have to continue to kind of keep up that level all the time. And I think what happens in business a lot of times is people get a little complacent. They think that, well, I've been dealing with that person for so long, they're going to keep coming here. But that's not necessarily the case. If you don't take care of them, they will look elsewhere, right? So absolutely. So
and you touch on consistency, when you come here, it's not always the same people. I mean, I try to have the same people at all times, but the fact is, sometimes you get slow.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And people have to live, so they leave, they find different jobs. But I try to keep a core of people.
Right.
I mean, we have a good core right now, and they get everything done. But we depend on your eyes for the job, and you taking pride in doing it.
Absolutely.
And the guys I have, they're amazing.
That's awesome.
And they make everything work. I'm only a piece in this puzzle. Right? It's a name on there, me, yes, but without them, it's really nothing.
Right.
I can't do it all myself.
No.
No.
You need employees who'll take ownership.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly,
and if you treat them right, they're going to want to work for you, and they're going to want to put out that product for your customers.
Yeah,
so.
and that's it. So I never go out there saying, "Oh, I'm running this offer." I just say, "Oh, we," because it's we, right?
Yeah. Good for you.
That's it. It's never. I think even when I just started, I never say it was I.
Right.
It was always we.
Yeah.
Right. And people gone before all these guys, they can tell you like it's always about the customer first. I'm never gonna say, "Oh well, we need to make it into our best interest," but it's in their best interest.
Right. Yeah.
Because if somebody leaves and they leave you a bad review, then that will kind of kill everything that was said before that.
Right. Absolutely.
So
sure.
it always sits well with me if I know the customer is okay. If I'm like, well, you could have fixed it. Why didn't you fix it? Well, I didn't want to do it. Then that's never good enough.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, and again, that's one of the ways. And I know that just by your personality and the few times I've been in here is the way you even speak to the people who are here. It's just evident that you actually respect them and care about them as people, not just as somebody who's helping you build your business and build profit, right? And I think that's huge. I think take care of your people and the bottom line will always follow has always been kind of my slogan. And
exactly.
I definitely see that with yourself too. So just before we move on, as far as your business is concerned, what are the hours that you're here? Typically, you're not usually here this late.
Well, not necessarily, but I am here different times, still around 12.
Okay.
But that's if I have to do something that's pressing.
Right.
And I do it all the time, but not very often now. But normally in peak season when it's like regular hours, like 8 to 5, give or take 6. Well, like now, a bit darker, quicker.
Yeah.
So we kind of shrink the window to like 9 to 5.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's flexible.
Okay.
Relative to what we're doing, but it's always within reason.
Good.
Like we're not going to be here at 9 o'clock banging and making noise.
Right.
We make it as smooth as possible for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I had planned to interview Kirkland already, but part of the reason that it kind of became a pressing issue today and wanted to meet with him today was because Kirkland's currently facing a situation with the city. I'll let him explain to you here in a moment to what happened or what's happening, and I think it's important for everybody to kind of know and be on board and help support the best they can. So, Kirkland, if you could explain to us a little bit about what's happening.
Yeah, so earlier or later on, middle of October, so, we got this notice from the city pretty much saying they got a complaint about our operation. They were making mention to, signs we had posted on the road, tents that we have, and cars parked here.
Right.
So when we had the complaint, I reached out to the officer and I said, "Oh well, I'd love to talk to you to see what we can do here." I was trying to be reasonable because I'm like, I'm curious to see what's going on.
Right.
Because I knew the businesses before they had an issue.
Right.
So it wasn't surprising. But I asked and he's like, "Oh yeah, in his defense, he did say, "Oh, it's no pleasure for me doing this."
Right.
But I said, we've been here for, 3 years with no issues. How comes it's an issue now? We've been doing the same thing. Nothing's changed. He's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't an issue because nobody complained." So I was like, okay, well, I understand. But now let's get this right. So somebody complained, one person. He's like, well, that's all it takes, one person. So I'm like, oh, it's not nice. So let's say I go to all these neighbors, they have no issues. I can guarantee you that they don't have any issues.
Right.
Because I know them personally.
Right.
He's like, it doesn't matter anyways. And I'm not here to argue with you, but yeah, this is this and this is that. You have to do it. And I said, well, you're sort of bullying this whole thing here. So I'm like, man, I'd much rather come to a solution on this.
Right.
So we took up the signs and whatever. Not an issue. I'm like, with cars, we work on cars. What am I going to do with cars?
Yeah.
If there's people parked over there, they work here. Customers have their car here. What am I going to do? Not clean cars? Great. Well, this has to come down. So, it was never a break on it. But, in the end, he proceeded to issue the thing anyways. And then I kind of sat on it for a few weeks without doing much. I was trying to, call and see about doing something with the city. But, it always defaults back to you need to fill in a variance and this and that. We've done it in the past for different things.
Yeah.
To no avail. It didn't work. They just declined it. We've drawn diagrams, say we're going to put it here and there. Might as well flush your money down the toilet.
Wow.
Yeah. So the landlords, they've tried before to get stuff changed up to no avail again.
Wow.
So previous people, they had issues with the same thing. Like somebody complaining, the city didn't give them a break, and they're out of business, right? In my case, they're pretty much saying, good to have this, good to have that, but the bottom line is it changes the whole way you operate. And I don't think it's fair to us here. I say us, not just me, everybody that's concerned with it.
Right.
We cannot be bullied by one person. What about the opinion of everybody else? We have here over 1,000 signatures of people disagreeing with one person.
Right.
And again, to the benefit of who?
Yeah.
One person? What about all the other people?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the whole point.
Absolutely.
It goes deeper than that, but I just think when you invest your time into something, meaning a business, you know, you give everything, you live it, you sleep it, eat, drink. When you go out, you recognizes that one person can come and ruin all that. You know, when you get something saying, "Oh, if you don't take it down by this date, you'll be fined 25,000," right? The first day, then 10,000 every day after. So by the end of the month, you're 225,000 in the hole. Gee, you're out of business. Too bad.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's simple as that. Nothing happens. I don't think so. That's not right. And it shows here that nobody thinks it's right.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's kind of what that big issue is.
Yeah.
I've made calls to the city to like have somebody reach out to see if we can come up with a resolution. I haven't heard back yet.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the deadline.
Yep.
So, gee, I haven't heard back from anybody. However, I will say this. I've spoken to Bill Dennis.
Yeah.
Great guy. You know,
absolutely.
Ever since day one, I reached out to him. Really helpful. He wasn't afraid to like get on board with it, go public with it.
No.
You know, he directed me to call people. Obviously, they didn't help. You know, he said, well, if there's any way I can help, he's always there to offer support.
Yeah.
So big thanks to him. Now,
absolutely.
He's come here. He signed, you know, given his regards and best wishes, and he's still in the fight. You know, I'm sure there's others too, but I haven't met them.
He's the only one who's come.
He's the only one that's come in. But in any event, he's one of the guys from the city that are actually fighting. But I'm sure there's others, but I just haven't met them.
Right.
But
exactly.
I started this yesterday.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, and all day people have been coming and going, and we talked about interviewing several hours ago, and then just since we've been here, we've had a few people walk in, and that's why we had to stop, because people were here to sign the petition, and Kirkland wanted to actually thank them in person, because this is important to him, and it's not just about winning, it's about his life. It's a principle, and it's his livelihood. For those who don't know, Kirkland is located on the corner of Lakeshore and Colburn Road. This has been a commercial property and zone commercial for decades. Certainly my entire life and beyond.
Well, now it's not zone. It got changed for some reason. But my understanding was whatever rules when it was commercial was grandfathered in to allow it to operate as a garage.
Right. Okay. Well, as a realtor, I can tell you that in Geo Warehouse, it still shows as a commercial property. So you know, whether or not that's accurate as far as zoning or not is concerned, the bottom line is this has been a commercial property and a commercial. It's been several businesses that again have failed due to exact issues like this. And one of the things to keep in mind is that we don't know which neighbor it was that filed a complaint, or even that it was a neighbor. Our assumption is that it would be, but the reality is that chances are that this was a commercial property before that person ever owned their home. And there's even a chance that Kirkland was running his business here, because he's been here for 3 years, and there's been several properties around this area that have sold in the last couple of years. So the truth is that when you move into a neighborhood like this, you are aware this is on the corner. this property has definitely been in different levels of disarray over the years, and it's certainly no fault of the owner of the building, but different businesses haven't necessarily cared for it the way Kirkland has. I invite you to actually take a drive down here, take a look and see the property. If you haven't had a chance to sign the petition, you definitely want to, if you can, sign it in person before Kirkland goes. What time are you planning to head down there tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, just whenever I stop seeing people.
Okay.
But again, you want to get there before they close, right? Because
right.
It's the end of day. That's just their deadline.
Yeah.
But, I just want to get there to just say, hey, a lot of people are not pleased with the treatment of how your rules are being administered.
Absolutely.
And that's just it. The people have a voice.
Yeah.
They've spoken, and in great numbers as we speak.
Yeah.
And it's still coming in. So does that count for something?
I would say it does. I mean, before I came back after we spoke earlier today, I looked at the it's change.org that you've got there, and again, you can check that out. There's a link on Kirkland's. It's Blake's detailing on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a link to that as well. You can sign online, but there were over 1,200.
Well, not just there; it's all over the place. You type it online; it's a trend.
Oh, it's everywhere.
It's
so
trending. It's trending. So
good.
It's all over the place. I've lost track of where it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know what? And again, it just speaks volumes as to what people really truly believe. If people had an issue with the way you maintain this property, the complaint would have come a lot sooner, right? And so, you talk about the signs on the boulevard, and as a realtor, I said to you earlier, I don't personally love seeing my own signs on the corner, but sometimes it's a necessity. And it's certainly a necessity if you're the one maintaining the boulevard to be able to advertise for your own business. Now, I know that there are bylaws with that. There are bylaws for certain spacing for signs and things like that, but that should be something that should be considered and should be something that's talked about rather than just here's a fine for doing that.
Definitely should be discretionary because a lot of people out here, like elderly people, they're not into the whole Facebook nonsense.
Right.
They couldn't care for that. They're like, some even ask, what do you even do here?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, we do this, we do that, even after all these years. Yeah. So when I put it out there on the road, a sign, we're just making awareness.
Right.
People knowing what we do.
Yeah.
Right. Because at the end, not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's on Instagram.
No.
Some people don't even have a smartphone.
Exactly.
So how do we get the word out?
Right.
We're not allowed to put out anything, not even a cardboard sign. That's how ridiculous this place is.
Wow.
And as a business, how can you promote? If you're not promoting online, how do you even get the word out? Do I get a loudspeaker?
Right.
But
a
again,
guy in a chicken costume. Yeah.
You see, that's going to be a problem too. Oh, you cannot be that loud. So
no,
you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So at this point, our hands are tied.
Yeah.
If anything were to go forward, too bad.
Yeah.
It would just be a case of another business failing at this corner for the same reason.
For sure.
But the question is, where do you mark the line? You have to mark the line somewhere.
Yeah. And
I think now is our opportunity to make it stick.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this issue is not just here. There's many other people facing issues with the city, but the rules are antiquated. The rules need to be updated.
Right.
I would imagine the one that he went for, he dusted it off and kind of cleaned it up to come present to us. But it sounds comical, but unless we change it, I wasn't in Sarnia all the time, but if I were to rethink now, I sort of think that I made the wrong decision. But the support changes that.
It tells you otherwise. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the support changes that because the support that I got and been getting for years, it changes that perception. People always say, gee, why did you even come to Sarnia, of all places? Because it's not some place you can drive by. You have to intentionally come here.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like, oh, gee, driving by Sarnia. You have to come to Sarnia.
Yeah.
It's that place.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, gee, where is that? Never heard of it. Or you got to look on the map. And that's it. You have to come here. And there's something about it. Whenever they come, they're like, oh man, I have to get a place out here.
Right?
And
Absolutely.
that's just Sarnia.
Absolutely.
It's you can't explain it, but that's just how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And and I like to believe that you haven't made a mistake because like you say, the support shows otherwise. But I truly believe, and again, I'm an eternal optimist, but I truly believe that this has got to say something. Bylaws, we understand, they're there for a reason, but things should be discretionary, and it shouldn't just be as simple as you can't have a sign on a boulevard. If it's blocking the view of traffic, if it's making it unsafe for people to pull in and out of the driveway, if it's things like that, that's one thing. But you're putting, the little signs like we put out on the boulevard so people see that you're a detailing service. The property is better maintained than it's ever been, and I'm almost 50 years old. It's better than it's ever been my entire life. And I'm sure people will say even longer than that. So, guys, again, super important that you get down and support. I mean, you should support all local, but this particular situation, your signatures mean a lot. If you could take the time to either go online on, I guess if you just look Blake's Detailing Services, you're gonna find that petition everywhere. Kirkland will be here tomorrow at some point. He is going to go home at some point tonight. He was supposed to be out here a couple hours ago already, but as you can see, people just keep coming. So, if you could get down here, make sure you do.
People are coming riled up. Even some people that didn't know.
Yeah.
I saw this guy. He's like, "What the hell is going on down here? This fuss." When I told him, the guy got right in the face. He's like, "It's unbelievable."
It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. But it's good to see you've got support of others of people on council who acknowledge that it's not right. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the rules are there, but again, in this case, as you said, discretionary because it's within discretion. But in this case, when you go with a little microscope looking at something, it's really poking something that shouldn't be touched.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that's just it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's frustrating, but I hope your battle is not too much of a battle for you because it just doesn't make sense. And guys, one thing we've heard the saying over and over, especially since COVID, is we're in this together. We're in this together, and support local, and this is exactly what it's about: is supporting a local business owner. Again, not even born and raised here, has chosen Sarnia to start his business. He's been taking care of people. His reviews speak for themselves. And this is what it's all about: is supporting each other and being there for each other. And I honestly, I really thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. Hopefully, we can get together, have another interview at some point where we just highlight your business. But it's so important for people to know what's happening.
Yes, of course, and just not even relating to that, we can just drop that topic altogether.
Okay.
Like with community involvement.
Yeah.
When you think of all the people that's worked here, in the past and present, a lot of these people, this is their first job.
Right.
Because you can't walk into a restaurant elsewhere or just a store. They're gonna say, "Gee, do you have any experience anywhere?"
Right.
They're not gonna give you that chance.
No.
I'm sure there's somebody out there seeing this video that can say, "Oh, I actually remember getting my first job there."
Right.
And a parent will come to me and say, "My son is looking for a job out of high school. Do you mind?" I'm like, "No, I don't mind." They come and it's not free. I actually pay them to come and learn. Right. Some work out, some don't, but at least I gave it a shot.
Absolutely.
So all that stuff, right? And again, we're involved with lots of different charities all over the place.
Awesome.
But I can assure you, anybody that comes in, I never say no, right? The one I can speak of, which is a testament to believing in people, like Real Deal Trivia. I'm not sure if you heard of it.
Okay.
Matt McNeil. He used to work with the radio station at one point, but it didn't work. But he was there, and he started his own thing because he was sick.
Okay.
He started doing trivia.
Right.
And he's like, I need something to offer to people for they would come. He started with one location, someplace, and he asked me, "Do you mind giving me a few gift cards so I can offer?" So I was the first sponsor to help.
Oh, is that right?
So, and he's grown, and now you hear about Real Deal Trivia. He's all over the place.
He's all over the place every day of the week, I think.
He's one of those guys where I keep close touch with, but I jumped on his thing. So he created a whole business out of that.
Yeah.
That it's self-sustaining.
Absolutely.
And it's that I'm given to it. Anybody comes in here, some of them I don't even remember them.
Right.
But it's just that nobody comes and I say no.
Right.
You know, just come. Even if I don't have it, I'll say no. You know, we've been up and down. It's a struggle. Yeah. No, it's slower times. The economy is crap.
Yeah.
Whether you agree or not. That's
right.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's slower now. Like,
right.
everything's down. Like, there's many people. Some of them you don't even know they're struggling. There's shops here in the same line of business that they've closed their doors.
Absolutely. Yeah, this year.
Yes, but nobody knows because they're not mainstream. You know, I'm thankful that I have a platform that I can reach out to people and they can support, you know, but all those people that can't, I feel bad.
Right.
You know, another business came to me today and they said, I haven't had any business all week. They dug up the road. The city dug up the road.
Yeah.
They have no cars coming in to see them. This one guy, he just closed his door indefinitely because the road's all dug up. And he's got to pay his bills. I don't hear any outrage about that.
Right.
I don't know if they have a platform.
Right.
But it's not right. And it's the city taking long to do stuff. And it's putting those people out of work, putting that business in the ground. But what happens?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
They can post it online. I will definitely support them.
Right.
But these are issues now affecting people.
Absolutely.
And again, I don't know if they put it out there, but they tell me directly it's happening.
For sure.
And they've been in here to sign too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know,
that's awesome. And you're right. I mean, businesses always struggle. Small business has always been a struggle anyway. Yeah. Since COVID, I mean, even more challenging. It's obviously, you know, we sold. For those who don't know, we actually used to own Southwest Paddle Company. We actually sold it March 6th, the year the world shut down, and to a customer. And we thought, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? The world shut down 2 weeks later, and I mean, thankfully he's had a lot of success. But there's a lot of people who've struggled.
That's how we started too.
Yeah.
You know, we started somewhere else as a partnership with somebody, but as soon as it's like the money goes in, oh crap, the world shuts down. You're on your face. You know, too
absolutely.
bad. You know, you get on the right, they get on the horse and keep riding.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you did because I'll tell you, I mean, your reputation speaks for itself, and obviously, not only are you a good guy or a good business owner, but you're a good guy as well. And so, you know, I think the fact that you care about the community as much as you do just speaks volumes. And you know, and that's why we're here. We're here to support you in the ways we can. And you know, and so again, you know, check out the business for one thing. Again, like I say, definitely support if you can with the petition. But you know, if you're looking to have a vehicle detailed or know somebody who is a great Christmas gift, a great birthday gift, you know, everybody's vehicles get a little gross throughout the wintertime. You know, this is the guy you want to see for sure. Where can they find you besides on lovestartinglambton.ca, because you're going to be posted there real shortly. So where can they find you besides that? Well,
you can go on Google, just type Blake's Detailing.
Yep.
Or if you even type car wash, it's on the top.
Is it? Okay.
I've heard
good,
stories.
Good.
You can go on the website, which is www.blakesdetailing.ca. Okay. You can send a message directly from there. It comes to me.
Yep.
You can even book your appointments there. You don't have to come in.
Okay.
But just obviously give a description, and when you come in, we'll finalize the fine details. But everything can be done online. You can send pictures.
Excellent.
Everything.
Excellent. Right? All the socials, you're on Facebook and
Instagram. Yeah. But, you know, you can just come.
Right? Just come see him.
Assuming we're still here.
We're going to hope he is. And if not, we're going to find him a great place to be. But, guys, again, I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today. If you have any questions about real estate, feel free to reach out to us, hometeamadvantage.ca, or you can call us directly at 519-331-5552. Again, for any car wash, detailing, not car wash, but detailing services for sure.
Car wash too.
You're doing just work, car washes too. He'll do it all. All right, so come see this guy. And again, if you can get an opportunity to get down here or get online before he goes to see the people at City Hall tomorrow, with the support of Bill Dennis and hopefully some other city councilors as well, you know, it'd certainly be appreciated. Guys, have a great night, and thanks for joining us on this episode.
All right. Great.